Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Hazlett.
And I'm Noah Padaka. The state of New Mexico is working to help the children of the state have a brighter future.
In the just completed legislative session, lawmakers approved a 40% expansion in the pre-K program. That's an increase of about 7,000 kids. It provides free preschool services for 3- and 4-year-olds at the state's public schools and other private providers. It also includes Head Start, family child care, and child care centers. The money comes from legislative appropriations and from the Land Grant Permanent Fund.
Even with much effort, a goal has not been reached. Following the pandemic, Las Cruces Public Schools began efforts to expand internet access to students. However, some say that they have not applied to the program because of language barriers, immigration fears, and confusion on who to call. Studies have shown that New Mexico is one of the worst states for internet access for students. The state has also started efforts to expand internet access to students in all districts, including rural areas. Jenny, you're doubling up on weather today and news. What can you tell us about those current conditions?
So right now it is sunny outside with a temperature of 72 degrees. There's a slight breeze blowing out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour, a dew point reading 3 degrees, humidity 7%, a barometer of 29.95 inches. Now we did have a high today of 75 and a low of 46. An average around this time of year is 76 degrees. Now taking it back in 1972, we did have a high temperature of 90 degrees and just a year later we had a record low temperature of 27 degrees. Now we didn't get any rainfall today, leaving our yearly rainfall at 0.57 inches. Now, students at Uvalde High School in Texas were among those taking part in National School Walkout yesterday. The group Students Demand Action walked out to protest school shootings and demand stronger gun control laws. This comes in the wake of last week's mass shooting at Nashville School that left 7 people dead, including the shooter. The group says more than 200 schools scheduled protests on Wednesday. Of course, Uvalde is where a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary last year.
And those egg prices have stabilized from their January highs, but they're still not very cheap. And that's led some people on social media to try something interesting, and that's painting potatoes for Easter. That trend hasn't been lost on potato producers. Marketing and Promotion Board Potatoes USA is pushing the idea. It's offering tips on how to get the best Easter spud. You can either use food coloring or regular paint. The group says potatoes are less fragile than eggs and easier for kids to hold.
And stay tuned, I will be back with your national forecast. And welcome back, everyone. You're watching News 22 Thursday,
where news matters. Jenny, we are back to you for that national weather forecast. What can you tell us about those conditions across the United States?
Yeah, so taking a look at my first national map, we can see that it is going to cool off a little bit, but taking a look mostly in the southwest, we can see Las Vegas sitting at 46 degrees, Phoenix at 54, Denver at 29, and El Paso at a warm 49 degrees. Now moving on to my next national map, we can see that there is a storm moving up from the Gulf of Texas up into that Atlantic coast. Now the storm is not expected to be very severe, but there is expected flooding in that Texas, Louisiana area. Now that's all I have for those national maps, but join me later for a look at those local temperatures. Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Thursday. Let's go ahead and take a look at those local temperatures. In Farmington, we have 55 degrees, Gallup also 55 degrees, and Santa Fe 55 degrees. Now in Albuquerque, it is 64, Clovis 60, Socorro 66, Ruidoso 60, Roswell 65, Las Cruces 72, and Deming at 73 degrees. Now tomorrow, it is expected to warm up across the state. Farmington, it will be 67, Gallup 66, Santa Fe 60 degrees, Albuquerque 66, Clovis 62, Socorro at 70, Ruidoso at 57, Roswell at 65, Las Cruces at a warm 75, and Deming at 70 degrees. Now taking a look at those neighboring cities, in Alamogordo we have partially clear skies with a low of 39 tonight and a high of 69 tomorrow. Truth or Consequences, it'll be 44 as a low, and tomorrow it'll be a warm 71 degrees. In Silver City, it'll be 37 tonight with a high of 64 tomorrow. And here in Las Cruces, it'll be a low of 46 degrees with partially cloudy skies, and tomorrow a high of a warm 75. Now that's all I have for those local temperatures. Join me later for a look at that 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Jenny. It's cool to have weather at the desk. It's a well-known that if you're a member of a group where you can laugh and play, you'll be healthier and happier. News 22's Daniel Espinoza found such a group that's also really entertaining.
These are the Boot Boogie Babes, an all-woman line dancing team. A woman in Seattle, Deanna Lee, started the first Boot Boogie Babes team in 2014. One of the first women to put on her boots and start scooting was Linda Henriksen.
I had no idea that I would make the team. I was really just doing it for the experience of it. So it was exciting when one of the other women called me and said, "We're on the same team."
And when Linda moved to New Mexico, Deanna Lee had an idea.
She knew I was leaving. "So what do you think? You maybe start a team down in Las Cruces?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" Thinking nothing would ever have come of it.
But something did come of it. It's given women a chance to live up to the Boot Boogie Babes mission statement to empower and inspire other women with line dancing.
I was looking for some form of exercise. I'd been retired since 2019, and I joined with Linda and the Boot Boogie Babes when it first opened. So I was one of her regular first openers.
And behind me is My Place Jewel, where the babes practice. The studio owner says that the physical benefits of dancing are obvious, but that dancing and having fun can do even more for a person.
We, as a human being, we need rote, we need problem solving, and everything about dance answers all the things that we have for mental health.
The women on the team say it does make them happy, and it's all because of Linda.
She just makes us all feel wonderful. She just tells us how wonderful we're all doing. She always praises us. We just always feel so good when we come and dance with her.
And the feeling is mutual.
I love to dance, and that's another reason that I wanted to teach, is that I want to share my love of dance with whoever wants to dance. I think it's awesome and humbling to have women walk up to me tomorrow and say, "Thank you for making this so much fun."
Daniel Espinoza, News 22.
And thank you, Daniel, for that report. We do have a postscript to this story. Linda Henriksen, the coach of Las Cruces Boot Boogie Babes, did not want us to include the soundbite with Susan Jewell because Susan is not part of the Boot Boogie Babes organization. Now, reporters strive to be comprehensive in telling our stories, and we think including it was helpful in telling this story. And Jose, let's kick it over to you for a look at those sports.
Thanks, Noah. Coming up in sports, Oregon Mountain High School has a new hire. You can toss that remote because News 22 Sports is next.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Jose Munoz, and let's talk sports. The Oregon Mountain football team looks to turn it around with their new hiring of former Max Preps National Coach of the Year. Former Bishop Gorman coach Kenneth Sanchez will replace Steve Castillo, who stepped down after 4 years as head coach. Sanchez's time with Bishop ended with no losing seasons, 4 straight titles from 2015 to 2018, and a Coach of the Year award. With the new signing, the Knights are looking past this season, ending 3-7 and 0-5 in district play. The New Mexico State football coaching staff has remained the same following the 7-6 record, and the Quick Lane Bowl victory will now see an increase in pay. All the assistants under Coach Kill had an additional year or two added to their contracts, and most of them had an increased pay due to last year's success. The offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, has his salary from $250,000 to $275,000 with a clause in his contract. Defensive coordinator, Nate Drilling, salary from $170,000 to $195,000, with Malvin Rice, an assistant defensive coordinator, $120,000 to $180,000, with many more assistants gain raise in pay. Conference USA Commissioner Judy McLeod announced Thursday the 2024 and 2025 men's and women's basketball championships will be hosted in Huntsville, Alabama, with having a multi-year agreement through partnerships for 2 seasons with an opportunity to extend. New Mexico State is set to join the Conference USA in 2023 after playing the WAC tournament in Las Vegas, Nevada. Huntsville will be the 9th location for the tournament, with the conference champions receiving an automatic bid to the tournament. The NMSU baseball team will have a 3-game homestand starting tonight through Saturday. The Aggies will face off against California Baptist after winning Sunday's matchup against Sam Houston. They had a mid-game canceled this week against UNM, but will be made up on May 16th, but they look ahead to win out against the Lancers. Tonight and on Friday they play at 6, while the original time on Saturday is slated now at 11:30 to accommodate Cal Baptist travels. Former Aggies are making their mark on affiliated rosters during opening week. Every Wednesday this season, NMSU baseball will feature former Aggies who play for major or minor league teams, as 9 found their way to a roster. The sole Aggie playing in the MLB is Kyle Bradish for the Oilers, while Nick Gonzalez and Joey Ortiz are in the AAA, and Daniel Johnson and Marcel Renteria are in the AA action. Rounding out, Ian Mejia, Sammy Natharia, Brock Weasley in the High A, and Alex Bustamante and Chris Jefferson in the Single A. And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action next week. Still ahead on News 22, Jenny will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at those top stories. Students at Uvalde High School were among those taking part in a national school walkout yesterday, demanding stronger gun control laws. Jenny, hopefully we'll have a beautiful weekend. What can you tell us about that 5-day forecast?
Yeah, so looking into the next couple of days, we can see that it's steadily going to warm up. On Friday, it will be, or tomorrow, it will be 72, mostly sunny with a low of 45. On Saturday, it'll be 78 degrees with a high of 54, so remember that sunscreen for the rest of the week. Now it is going to get up to 86 all the way up to Tuesday, and that's all I have for your 5-day forecast.
Awesome. It's a beautiful weekend to, maybe spend some time outside, have a burrito even. It's National Burrito Day.
Exactly. I think I'm headed to Chipotle right after this.
I think I'll head there too.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like a good plan for tonight. And thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Have a great Easter weekend. Good night.
This news brief in Espanol is brought to you by Noticias 22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias 22.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Les saluda Matthew Ríos. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Autoridades en El Paso están investigando un accidente automovilístico ocurrido en la zona oeste de la ciudad cerca de Topgolf. Agentes de la patrulla fronteriza respondieron a una llamada de varias personas escondiéndose en el baño de un negocio después de que su vehículo se encendiera. Agentes pudieron localizar 5 individuos y determinaron que todos eran migrantes que llegaron a Estados Unidos de manera ilegal. En este momento, la patrulla fronteriza no ha revelado más detalles o información acerca de este incidente. Estaremos monitoreando esta situación para más actualizaciones. Y a pesar de una amplia campaña durante el encierro de COVID-19, las escuelas públicas de las Cruces no han podido proporcionar internet de alta velocidad a los domicilios de sus familias más necesitadas. Esto se debe a que dichas familias se enfrentaban barreras de lenguaje y tenían miedo a las redadas de inmigración. También se comentó que aquellos que querían participar pasaban por un proceso confuso que les impedía solicitar el servicio. Y hasta aquí las noticias. Gracias por haber estado con nosotros.